Yo, yo, what is up, everybody? We are continuing our series on the standard send off for the September rotation in 2022. In that, I just kind of wanted to open a couple boxes and kind of bid farewell to all the sets that have been standard and are leaving with Dominaria United. Kind of seemed a fitting way to do some content. And without further ado, we'll just tear into this. So we've gone through Zendikar Rising. We've gone through Kaldheim, some fond memories. I'll say, Strixhaven, the first thing that comes to mind and kind of reflecting on this set is First off, I thought this set would just be an absolute slam dunk. Nothing seems to me more the target contemporary audience of a Magic shopper than basically Harry Potter meets Magic. Boy, we got some puffy packs here, but these are United States. So I thought this set would have been much bigger. Now, I think we've seen some cool stuff from it, but also the power level. Like, there's a rare lesson. When we look back on this set, the biggest thing that I think people are going to remember is that the prices just didn't develop like anybody thought they would. Approach of the Second Sun. So we're off to a pretty good start. A rare there, a rare lesson, and a beautiful mythic. And it looks like we got a hit from the list slot. Love this version of Approach of the Second Sun. I think these mythic archives are going to be like the biggest stuff from the set. There's our little foil. And Pedantic Learning. Whenever a land card is put in your graveyard from your library, pay a colorless. If you do, draw a card. Interesting. Boy, that's a cool card from Odyssey block there. With the old Mirari logo. Very cool. I've never owned that card before. So what a funky, cool hit from our list slot there. So yeah, looking back on our old friend Strixhaven, I'll say the biggest thing I can kind of remember is that it just kind of fell flat, even though I thought the flavor was an absolute slam dunk. Like, if you want to make a bunch of new guilds and not necessarily go to Ravnica, doing these little Harry Potter schools is probably one of the coolest ways to do that. And the Mystical Archives were cool to first open. Heck, did anyone think we were going to see, like, Channel reprinted, Dark Ritual reprinted? And it was a cool way. And there are some staples there. Prismari Command. this card sees a ton of play alongside Expressive Iteration, and I think we can expect to see more of that in the future. But, we'll just make one rare pile. Lessons can get included. But yeah, foil D-Spark. Wow. Okay. So doing pretty good on our little mystical lessons there. Foils of those are not that common. What a great one too. Exile target permanent with mana value 4 or greater. That's a good card. So yeah. That's kind of the biggest thing there is that, I think Strixhaven is an absolute flavor knockout. If I had to guess, I think it was a little underwhelming overall for the audience, but I think it's still a plane we would go back to. We know, for example, in like Liliana's lore, she's been there more than once. I couldn't tell you, as someone who's opened quite a few of these packs and has some vague idea what the actual technical conflict of this set was. I think it had something to do with mage hunters, which is weird on a plane that can foster a mage academy to have mage hunters running rampant enough. Frostboil Snarl, beautiful. Man, Ephemerate. We have opened quite a few rares so far in our Mystical Archive slot. So doing pretty good there. Otherwise, big changes coming out of the list. I think there were some cool stuff. Pests are cool. I'm just surprised. Ooh, another list card. But yeah, I'm just surprised this set didn't receive more of a positive reception. I was kind of looking to Kaldheim and then this set to say, oh, Magic's off to a great start. It never quite happened, but I think there's some cool stuff in here. Auric Lore Mage. Search your library for a card, put it in your graveyard, then shuffle. Since or a sorcery, put a counter on them. That's great. Flashback decks. Oh, what do we got here? Selfless Glyph Weaver. And on his other side is Deadly Vanity. Interesting. So some interesting rares there. Then we got Negate. Foil Unwilling Agree. Oh, Tech! Wow. Okay, so 2 rares so far from the list. Boy, we're getting the special treatment today. Good old Tech. Man, this is a classic from Invasion Block. Remember this guy? What a wild card. All right, so some funky business from the list today. Yeah, but when we look back, there's big spicy dragons. There's some cool houses, some cool lessons. And some decent charms, too. Second Prismari command. Not unhappy with that. Thrill of Possibility. Aether Helix. So yeah, I'm kind of shocked that I think, unfortunately, because Strixhaven just didn't have the constructed power level, it's kind of an overlooked set. And I wouldn't be surprised if this set kind of winds its way down through time as a set that had some of those like treasures that are going to go up in price, like this guy. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. I mean, every red-blue spell deck, ooh, another Mythic, Increasing Vengeance. Boy, our Mystical Archive slot has been very good to us so far tonight. Yeah, I just think Strixhaven is going to be one of those sets that will probably go back to Strixhaven, and maybe it'll just be kind of underappreciated in the long term, but inherently not a bad card. Like, I love the pests. I love the Golgari synergies in this set are very cool to me. And I think there's some cool commander cards. Again, these guys are Boy Palos there. Some cool cards. Cultivate, love that. Pest Summoning. And another list slot. Good old Lash Out. Clash Burn. Clash Burn. Lash out with your Clash Out. You know, the big hitter is still Bellatrix Witherbloom. I think there's still a Vampiric Tutor on the list circa this era of cards. Other than that, Expressive Iteration, I think, is the big deal. Ingenious Mastery, Pestilent Cauldron, Defiant Strike, and an Access Tunnel. So, yeah, our little farewell to Strixhaven here. Again, I just thought this was going to absolutely catch on. I thought this would be like, oh man, everybody's going to start, wearing scarves and identifying themselves. I mean, they made Harry Potter houses for Magic nerds in this set. And I mean, I'll say a lot of Magic fans tend to be academics, tend to be college graduates, college students. So, like, making a magical college for everyone to go to, setting a set there, having Liliana become the alluring librarian recruiting new Magic nerds was all of those are good ideas. On paper, I don't see why that wouldn't work. So, yeah, just interesting. Claim the Firstborn. Just interesting that, as we stand right now, watching Strixhaven leave, it's probably the least critical player leaving. Maybe AFR. I'm not sure on that, but I would just say long term. I think Strixhaven's reputation is going to change. Crackle with power. There's our Mythic. Still see some play to this day. Ooh, Nephalia Academy. If a spell an opponent control causes you to discard a card, you may reveal that card and put it on top of your library instead of putting it anywhere else. Add a colorless mana to your mana pool. Interesting stuff from our list slot so far. So yeah, I'm trying to think of more thoughts. If I had to pick a school, I'm probably Silverquill. I have hot takes. I have an English degree, and I love Orzhov. So, yeah, consider me a Silverquill. Other than that, whatever the green-black guys are, I'm also them. Witherbloom, I'm also down with the Witherbloom crowd. Prismari is pretty awesome, although the whole, funky gins and lacy cravats playing trumpets to cast magic is a little much for me. I don't know if I could hang, but I can definitely hang with yucky witches pulling pests out of cauldrons and doing culling blows. I can definitely hang with that. So Silverquill command. The fact that Silverquill are basically slam poets. Oh, channel Mythic. There's a really good video out by MTG Goldfish too, where they play a bunch of these cards and they just show you how busted channel is. A lot of turn 1 Ugin. Oh, Brothers Yamazaki again, man. List coming in hot. We got 5 list cards about halfway through the box. Interesting. We've gotten 2 rares. Now, in some of my other videos, I've kind of noticed a set booster usually averages around 2 rares and 1 mythic from the list slot over the course of the coalition. Not always holding true, but pretty kind of a target, I would say. Hoffrey Ghostforge, have so many of him. Sign in Blood, love that card. One of the best cards ever, really. Just a great black utility card. I really love Sign in Blood. The utility in Sign in Blood is really good. It deals direct damage. It draws you cards. It doesn't cost much. It's easy to cast. Love that card. Silverquill Campus. But yeah, Strixhaven Stadium. Alternate win condition. Doesn't seem that hard to activate. Like, Pillow Fort? Win con? Yeah, let's go. Whirlwind Denial. Spell Satchel. So nothing too crazy yet. No dragons, 1 lands, not a lot of the big papas here. You know, we'd love to see like another Bella Witherbloom or even a Lady Onyx. Let's see if we get anything really great. It's 275, so it's a little on the bigger side, edging up to 300, so it's a big set. There he is, Bellatrix Witherbloom. Called it. Man, love that. Booyah. Boom. Beautiful. Compulsive Research. Solid card. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, if there's any other big deals from this set, you know? I think they were kind of coming off, like, being very trepidatious about having to ban cards in Standard, which is good. You know, they shouldn't print cards that need to be banned 3 months after release. But teach by example. The Poet's Quill, not a bad little piece of equipment there. Strategic planning and eliminate. So yeah, all in all, Strixhaven, I wish I had more to say about it, but I didn't really play much in Limited at this time. I was still kind of like, oh, Kaldheim Elves, Rogue deck. And then as Strixhaven came out, I was kind of like, well, I'm just going to chill. I think we were kind of waiting for Modern Horizons too, honestly, at this point. Efreet Flame Painter, Adventurous Impulse. So far, nothing too wild there. The only foil rare so far has been that Mythical Archive. But yeah, I'm just trying to think if I have anything more prescient to say about Strixhaven as we like kind of bid farewell and watch it go away. I don't think we're going to be hurting that bad. But again, I think this is a set, like if I had to liken this to a set, let me know what you think about this. Kamigawa block. Hey, there we go. Those are two playables. Kamigawa block in the sense that it kind of was like underpowered as for what it was seen at the time. It was kind of bookended by 2 much higher quality sets. But then as time went on, you know, those hidden gems, it just goes to show. In modern history, they don't make a Magic set that is worthless. Like, that just doesn't happen. They may make a set that doesn't have as much of an impact in Standard. They may make a set that doesn't have incredibly high prices. But they don't make a set that just is like a complete blank. Culling Ritual. I think this card is fantastic. It's a token hose. It's a mana generator. It's costed exactly where it should be. And look at this beautiful counterspell. Love that. Explosive Welcome. Oh, then we got a list slot. Little Blight Sickle. Classic Innistrad equipment. The Bone Shredder. Or no, I'm sorry. That's Shadowmoor. Wow. Very cool. Actually, pretty decent cost. 2 is a little pricey to equip that, but not bad. So yeah, Strixhaven, I mean, what else can we say? I thought this set was going to go berserk. I thought this would, again, everybody wearing scarves of their respective house to F&M. Everybody, you know, we would have to learn a new name for all the color combinations. Sedgemoor Witch, She Sees Play. Counterspell, love those. Negate, also another great card. And a foil, not bad. Not too bad. But yeah, I kind of misread the room on that. I think this set was just a flavor slam dunk, but never really kind of took off the way I think it was intended. Now, that being said, I do still feel pretty confident in saying we will go back to Strixhaven. And the reason I think that is, again, I think the flavor is incredibly solid. I think players, even given some time, some distance from a set that's lesser well received, much like Kamigawa will make the hearts grow fonder. I already think it's off to a start where it being such a unique, rich, inclusive, diverse in representation ready IP, it's very well suited to be a plane we go back to again. I also think it having the Mystical Archive, I think once everything shakes down, you know, that I think there's a decent chance that we revisit Strixhaven, much like Kaldheim. You know, if I had to put them on the Arabia scale, I believe that is, I think I would put Strixhaven and Kaldheim fairly close together, other than Kaldheim's just very clear. But once you do Vikings once, ooh, Ecological Appreciation. Once, oop, bent that one. once you do Vikings once, can you just go back easily? Like, what exactly is the story you tell? Whereas this plane is ready to tell stories. Ooh, Dragon Guard Elite in foil. I think that might have been the box topper promo when this set first came out to sell. Not positive on that, but I think that might have been the case. So yeah, I think we return to STRIXHAVEN. I think the school having all types of drama, and again, like the typical Magic person fits in well with like, it's a school full of wizards worried about the school full of wizards worried about wizards at school. Like that's who we are as Magic nerds. Like, just accept it. And Saber Ants! Man, I remember this card. I remember opening these with my brother back in Mercadian Masks. Whenever it's dealt damage, you may put that many 1/1 green insect tokens on the battlefield. This feels so good blocking a 1/1 with this card. Blocking a 1/1, killing it, and making a 1/1. Oh, man. Yes, that is a poor attack. You're like, what? What are your opponent allowed? Again, it was me and my little brother playing Magic in his room. And he sold a bunch of his Pokemon cards to buy a Mercadian Mask booster box. And if you want to feel even better, he had a foil Rishadan port that I have since sold. And believe me, I think about that now, and I think about what a Gem Mint foil Rishadan port is worth. And it makes you think about a lot of things in life and choices we make, and the fact that, you know what? It's just like when I went to my local LGS comic book store. And I was talking to one of the guys, and he was talking to me about his set of power he sold. And he took a month off and went to Europe. And we were talking about how, you know, yeah, it's a bummer now that could basically buy a house. But also, he doesn't regret his semester in Europe. I mean, I've sold a bunch of whiteboarded dual lands back in the day to pay for a semester of college. And I don't really regret it because I wouldn't be where I'm at now without having done that. But, you know, yeah, does it make me think a little differently about life? Sure. But it just lets you know, should I hold them now? I mean, heck, I used to buy Zendikar block by the case. And me and my roommate would sit there and we'd open it all the night before games day. And we would do like mock drafts. And then we would go like 5-0 the local two-headed giant. Another crackle with power there. Ooh, putting that in the wrong spot. But, you know, and like, was that the best use of my time? Was the trades I made at that time? I mean, I traded for a Lion's Eye Diamond at that time that I have since sold. And, you know, I could be sitting here like, oh my gosh, how much money would I have if I never got rid of that? But that's just not how life works, guys. The way life really works is we prepare the best we can for tomorrow. It's about being a directive pessimist. You can't guarantee tomorrow's going to be good, but you do the best you can for tomorrow. But the other thing you don't do is live with regrets of all the choices you've already made. And maybe we didn't learn that many great lessons from STRIXHAVEN, but take that lesson with you guys. If you sold some cards, good. You know, if you sold cards to go to dinner with your partner or take a trip, like, don't regret that. You can always buy more cards. Cards will continue to go up in value. Sure, it may hurt to be like, man, I used to have this back. Like, ooh, Command Beacon. Hey, this is dope. I'm sure that's worth a few bucks, and having it in a reprint, that's killer. You know, the biggest thing I would say is don't live with regrets, guys. Don't live with regrets. You know, I could regret that I bought so many boxes of STRIXHAVEN, that I've opened so many, that I continue to do so, even though the cards really don't seem to be worth much at all. But you know what? That's not what life is about. Life is about living. And you keep on going, and the page keeps turning. And that's the best we can do. And really, that's the thing I'd like to leave you with as we hit this last pack for STRIXHAVEN. You know, here we are, celebrating, having fun. Being fortunate enough to open all these great Magic cards, talk about it online, watch other people do the same, and just live our lives. There's nothing better than that. And with that, we come to our last pack, you know, just to do a quick recap as we send old STRIXHAVEN off into the sunset. Got a few mythics, none of the big wombos. Harness Infinity, surprised nothing ever happened with that card. Crackle Power, pulled a couple of those. So there's 2 mythics on the pack. Ecological Appreciation, don't even know that card. Search your library or graveyard for up to 4 creature cards with different names that each have mana value X or less. Reveal them. Opponent chooses 2. Okay, so kind of a tooth or nail, fact or fiction type of hybrid card there. Very interesting. But yeah, I mean, this set had Bellatrix Witherbloom. Gotta love him. Joffrey Ghostforge. Don't really love him. He's one of those great 99-cent mythics that just makes you feel like, wow, they should have moved him to rare. Nobody's ever going to want him. Way to bring the value of mythics down single-handedly, Joffrey. But not too bad on this box. I mean, looks like we pulled 6 mythics, honestly. No mythics in our list slot, but it was like, what, 3 rares? So Command Beacon, Tech, Pedantic Learning. Yeah, so not a bad box all in all. Pretty interesting. So definitely some good mythics in our Mystical Archive slot. The Mystical Archive slot is slowly growing in our collection. I plan to be playing only this version of Counterspell and Approach of the Second Sun in the future. And thanks for joining me, guys. As always, class dismissed. Until the next one, we'll bid farewell to Strixhaven, and then it's on to AFR, and then we're going right into Dominaria United. So catch me on the next one. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.